Hello and welcome to this quick tutorial on how to do a mashup. We'll be moving kind of fast, and that's okay because you can pause and review this. So first, what I did to make the Force Awakens / Stranger Things mashup is I first grabbed the Star Wars Force Awakens trailer. So you can see it here. And I grabbed the URL and went to and the way I got here is I just Googled how to get a let's see what I Googled. I Googled download YouTube videos. Now this is the one I used. Granted, I don't recommend them, but I use them. So if that makes sense. These sites change a lot, and usually they try to get you to click some of these other things and it takes you somewhere else, but this one right now, so I downloaded like that, and they usually have these weird pop-ups trying to get you to do stuff. I try not to, I don't use any of that stuff, and they always kind of weird me out. So once you have the video, I did all my editing in Premiere, so we'll go ahead and open up that file. So opening this up, you'll see that I threw away all the old files just because I was cleaning out my computer. But you can still get an idea of how I put the videos together. Okay, and then once you download it, you want to put it somewhere you will remember. So I'm just going to throw it on the desktop. And then throw it into Adobe Premiere. It's going to take a while. There you go. Because it's a bigger file, we're going to throw it onto the timeline. So there's the trailer. First thing I did, I cut out the opening parts. You could turn this into something else or make it funny, where you turn the green into, some kind of joke. I was going to put the thumbnail image, the video thumbnail image there, but figured people don't really need to see that, so I went ahead, just deleted all that. From here, I went to unlink. That way, if I make edits to, I know the video part's going to be gone, but I wanted to have, so I can edit the audio and the video part separately. Then, oops, jump back to YouTube, or no, jump onto Netflix. Find Stranger Things. Now the way I grabbed, this is a good part. The way I grabbed footage from here, so let's say I want to grab this footage. I used a program called Camtasia, and Camtasia has a record the screen button. And the record the screen button is what I'm doing to record this very screen, so I can't use it twice. So, because I'm recording the screen now, so I can't record the screen of me recording the screen. So I would normally make you can control the dimensions. So, and it's just kind of like when you're cropping something, it's like that. So I would just crop here, and then I hit play, and then okay, get it to go to full screen mode and just record a scene. All right, I'm gonna stop that. So I have this scene. I would take their scene and save it in Camtasia. Export the individual scene out, and then throw it in here. So let's say I was gonna grab, we'll just grab Go grab the final file so you can see what that looks like. So okay. So I would throw it in here and then edit so that it cuts to the part that I want. So right now, see, this is on top. So I always put the new files on top, so it's always good to have whatever you're working over. You know, the Star Wars part's going to be cut out, so I always put it at the bottom layer. That. Now I can edit this image or this scene over the top of the original. And then the other issue that comes up is, do I keep the original audio? Normally I don't, depending on the situation, so I unlink and then delete that. And so that's the Star Wars version. And this is the clip I'm putting over the top of it. Oop, hold on. Sometimes the size is different, so I have to come in here. And that was just because I exported it out of Camtasia at the incorrect size. So you shouldn't have to do it if you do it right the first time. But sometimes I export it at a bigger. Part of that too is then if you do export it at bigger, I could, in theory, cut him out of it. So let's see what that looks like. The reason why I say in theory is if the camera moves or the characters move, it doesn't always work because like that. So you cut to that scene. And so anyways, you can play with that. Another thing I played with a little bit was the timing. So if I wanted to come in here, I didn't do it a lot, but there's a couple scenes where I either needed to make it faster or slower. Just came in here. Let's make it slower by 50%. We'll make this actually fit. Now, one of the other issues you're going to have with, because Premiere's doing so much stuff, is it slows it down a little bit. Or it, like that's the actual speed. But sometimes basically your computer has to catch up. And so sometimes it'll look slower than it really is, or it'll be a little bit jumblier. So you have to, usually if you play it a few times, you get a better feel. So let's slow-mo. So that's good. And then after adding all the edits, and when you're done, you'll have a bunch of video files with the audio files under them. And again, you'll have to choose which audio you keep, what audio change, and then which audio you come here and edit. So you don't necessarily have to use Adobe Premiere, but it is possible to get a trial version, which gives you like 30 days. And this video took me, it took me 2 days. It could have took less. The only reason why it took 2 days is because part of that 2 days was having to rewatch the Stranger Things video. So you could easily get away with just doing it if you know a video very well and kind of know what you're doing as far as inspiration already. You could get away with it within 1 day. The hard part's the time-consuming part's grabbing all the clips, saving them, and then if your computer runs slow, which mine does, every time I open Premiere, it takes a few minutes. So I hope that you found that helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll check them all. And yeah, if you do end up making a mashup, send it my way.